Hello, everyone. Today we have an interesting conversation. I am having Hasib with me. Unfortunately, his video is not working. And I spoke to Hasib related to the PMP preparation, I think 1 year ago, if I'm not wrong. And then he did PMP, and recently he ended up doing PMI ACP. And as much I understand, he's not from an IT background. So I thought, why don't we discuss and understand what motivated him to do PMI ACP or study Agile primarily, and how probably he might be using those agile ideas in his day-to-day work. So before we get started, Hasib, you may want to talk about a little bit about your background so all of us can relate well.
So thank you, Sir Sakit. My name is Hasib Ahmed, and I am typically from construction background, and I have been doing this sort of construction thing since 2015. Like I have passed out in 2015 by the degree of civil engineering. So I have been following you since 2013, your platform, like once your video is earned value management, because I had in touch with earned value management at that point of time. So that video was very fruitful to me, like 30 minutes video. So from that time, I was started consulting your videos, like in my day-to-day work. And later on, when I got eligible for PMP, the thing came in my mind to consult Eisenbridge. So I did, and I cleared my PMP in my first attempt, just because you have got very pleasant and very interactive and very fruitful platform to just take feedback from your customers and then give them a great advice as per their mindset and as per your mindset. So after clearing PMP, I thought that I have now one extreme of project management methodology. Now I should go for the other extreme, like which is this is not pretty much very elaborative in Pakistan, but yes, it is still. If we talk about if we talk about IT project, and if we talk about knowledge work projects, but in construction, people fear about agile, like they fear to get change, their upfront detailed plans, their upfront detailed drawings, designs, their upfront logged cost. They have logged cost and they fear to change that cost, and they have their change control procedure. So when we talk about agile in construction industry, people come and say that this is not going to happen here, and we will be doing in predictive way, and what we have been doing it. So yeah, it's a very controversial thing when it comes to construction industry specifically. But my thought for agile, introducing agile in construction, like you cannot use 100% of agile in construction, but you can use 20%, 30%, 40% of it in the form of cocktail, in the form of hybrid model. So where you can use predictability, you can use predictability, but where you can use agile thing, like doing agile and being agile is a different thing, as you people have been saying in your platforms. So being agile and doing your construction things, I think it would be very fruitful to get the end.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you are coming from a construction background, and you do see a little controversy in your industry and your region talking about agile in construction. And you do believe a good percentage, or some percentage of agile might be applied, even the techniques can be applied. And you do believe being agile is something which can be done irrespective of the industry. Now we will talk about your applicability a little more, but before that, I want to focus on how difficult it was for you to study agile, because you have been doing more and more predictive work, and you are very less familiar with the software terminologies. So how difficult it was for you to prepare for agile related things?
Initially, I would like to add that it was very difficult when I was having hands-on with Mike Griffith books, your videos, like your terminologies like XP, like Scrum, like. But if we map these methodology to our daily predictability methodology and predictable methodology, we can find some desired things. And uh, that thing made me capable, that thing made my mind capable to map back the things. And then you know uh, one way of doing thing is predictability, like you do this thing and you start execution, and the other way is just against it, like you divide your whole part into chunks and you deliver that chunk, and then you take the feedback and then you change and move on with your adaptability and change the things like this way. So I find the whole methodology quite easy, but when it comes to PMI ACP, it was difficult me to grasp the whole knowledge of PMI ACP. That's why I have taken 10 months. So if I talk about any my overseas Pakistanis and my abroad concerned persons, they usually laugh at me that you have taken a substantial amount of time. But yeah, I still say to them that whatever I have done, and that I believe that I have made my mindset, and I have made my mindset to think about to think in agile way. So it took me like 10 months, and but it was difficult upfront, but with the passage of time, I changed myself and I adapt with this methodology, and and then I clicked a certification. Yes.
Thank you. So what I'm hearing is that initially it was difficult because a lot of extreme programmings and some terms casually using and software development things were coming in, and you might finding difficult to map them. But as soon as you started driving those mapping and you started seeing those things in your language, in your terminologies, things started becoming easy. And I must say that you are like always do an over preparation. I saw in the PMP time as well. So I think it is just not that you took 10 months because of the complexity of it. I think you also end up doing little detailed preparation than other test takers. So, but again, both the things resulted into taking a little more time and energy to understand.
I'm glad that you remember my PMP journey. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because you people are so busy. So again, I'm glad that you still remember.
No, keep these things in mind. And that's why I thought of talking to you, because primarily the intent was that how do we help the people who are not from IT background, but they need to kind of study agile. Now, why I'm saying this word, they need to study agile, because it is no more about PMI ACP from 1st January onwards. Even in PMP, the 50% of the PMP will be having agile and hybrid. So like whatever industry you might belongs to, but if you want to do PMP, you need to now get the agile thing. And that's why I thought, why don't I talk to you and catch some of your experience related to it. Now, what do you think? How difficult or easy it would be for the people who are not from IT industry to do PMP once the 50% of the content will start talking about agile ways of working?
Can you please rephrase your question? I have.
Sure. So what I'm saying is, how difficult, in your perspective, it might be for people coming from, say, construction industry to do PMP from January onward, because when the 50% of the content is coming from agile, so they need to understand agile.
Yeah, the people around me, which will be looking forward to get the PMP certification, they are in fear to get one, because before that, when I have done PMP, the PMP was easy, but not that much easy. Not that much easy. But the people around me are continuously saying to me that, oh yeah, when we will be able to take that exam, might be we will not gonna successfully done with that. So my advice for them is to just get along with agile. Like they have to read about agile. Like Mike Griffith is a very great book, but still the topics which are covered in Mike Griffith's book is, like the other way.
I know.
They have, they will be slipped by the core intent. So I think I don't know, the PIMBOK 7th edition would be good enough for covering agile part and predictive model part, but I'm sure that they will be working on it and they will come up with a better option. First one. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incidentally, in our content, we are adding as much agile as possible, even in the PIMBOK 6 version of our program.
But I must say that if the people gonna touch with you people, then sure they will gonna pass that in first attempt. That's my word.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Thank you for showing trust. So in a way, what I'm hearing is, and sensing the whole thing is, that people better start relating what they are doing in the agile way of working. May not get into those books which are pretty much talking about software terminology. So may get some neutral books and material which just talks about agile ideas, because if they get looped into a software terminologies, test and code and defect, then they may get confused. But better find some material which is little neutral in perspective.
Yes.
Okay. And like, do you have some elements, practices, or something which you started using in your day-to-day work after doing agile study? I'm not using a word PMI ACP because in future people might have to do agile study even for PMP. So after doing this agile study, is there anything which you see that you started using in your work?
Yes. As far as this is concerned, I first like to add that I am the guy of PMO. Like, I sit in centralized hub of construction industry. I have got like multi projects under me. So I sit in PMO. So you have got environment now. So when I was preparing about PMI ACP and agile mindset, there was a need in my office, like in our PMO, to get the better project management information system, like to have the database, to calculate, to have the health of our projects, to better understood by the senior management, or the CEOs, the investors, and the stakeholders. So that point of time, I introduced not the word agile, but the methodology. Like, we divide our whole idea into chunks, and we deliver one chunk to our stakeholders. They taste it, they get the feedback on it, and tell us that okay, now this point of time, we have got this much project health from what you have delivered. Now please add this feature to this, add this feature to this, and weekly and fortnightly we have been updating that database in Excel sheet. I must say we were using Excel sheet. So that was very robust Excel sheet, not a simple Excel sheet. But now we have having that database, and now the projects are using that database, and we are very pretty much good to have the project health, and that would be, and that are helping our senior management and our stakeholders to better feel what their project is lagging behind or not lagging behind, and what the cost and all that. So yeah, agile. I must say that we cannot use agile only for the end product. We can use it for the processes. Processes like process flow of our industry. So in this way, yes, we can use agile, and we cannot fear about agile in our construction processes. But yeah, we can use in our end products also, like if we are designing an uncertain project in uncertain area where we know what we are doing, but do not exactly know how it will be built, and keeping in mind the environmental, political, territorial, and many other effects on it. So then specifically in construction domain, we split our design into shorter parts, and then take back the feedbacks, and then but still design is an upfront document.
Yes. Yes.
We do agile, and then what we will be having is a thing which will still be like an upfront document and like a plan.
Got it.
So this is very controversial in construction. Like I have seen many blogs on it in projectmanagement.com website, but yeah, it is controversial. Yes, it is.
Okay. So what I'm sensing is, and just correct me if I'm getting it wrong. So you are saying that you have made your governance structure a little more lean and more frequent outcome and milestone based than the documentation based. So that's a change which you have seen, which you are saying that in an Excel sheet, we deliver part of it. So it's like a small batch size. You are trying to reduce a linear governance structure with some element going early, and rather than you delay it for the later stage, and those deliverables may also collect the feedback. So I think what you are saying is the sequence of activities still remains quite stringently followed, and that looks like a nature of industry, but the batch size of doing it is kind of shrinking gradually. So rather than that you focus on the whole thing, you are trying to make it a smaller size going. I'm not using a word iteration, but smaller size going. Yeah. So that's the one change which I sense based on your explanation. And another thing which is coming kind of related is more and more progressive elaboration, which was also there before. But now when you are taking feedbacks and you are doing small batch sizes, there are more feedbacks, and which requires more like rolling wave detailing of things rather than having a fine-grained plan in advance, though there will be a still overall plan in prepared, but the fine graining happens as you go along. Yeah.
Yeah, you have said what I have spoken about. Yeah.
Okay, great. So any like before we close, any advice or anything you wanna say to your construction industry fellows based on your experiment with Agile?
Yeah, I would give them advice that please do not fear about Agile. They will not hurt your upfront plans. They will not hurt your designations. They are so much reluctant about their designations that might Agile would harm their designations. So use Agile mindset in your day-to-day work, like stakeholder feedbacks, like self-empowering. But in construction industry, the delegation is more have the importance. Like the project management gives the task to the subordinates, and subordinate has to done the work as per the given. But I must say, you use a hybrid model. Better go with your predictability. But yeah, where it is required, have some topping of Agile. It will be beneficial for empowering the team, and it will be beneficial for your end result. We all know that if we engaged stakeholders better, we will know what we be doing, and what we sense more.
Okay. Yeah. So more transparency, more sensing, more stakeholder engagement, lean governance, managing predictability and adaptability as per the context. So not extremely going in a one direction over the other. And maybe a better way of dealing with your workforce, the people who are working with you at a different levels, and not, so this is something one may get it, and not to worry about your designation. You may not be called Scrum Master even if the Agile start getting used in your construction industry. Yeah. Thank you, Hasib, for taking time in such a short notice. Yeah, nice talking.
It was an honor. Sir.
Thank you, Hasib. Yeah. Bye.